Today's case is about a German former nurse and a serial killer who is believed to have claimed the lives of 85 people between 2000 and 2005. However, more recently, police estimate that his victim count could be around 300 over the course of 15 years. And if this is true, it would make Niels the most prolific serial killer in modern German history. So, when you think about going to a doctor for the usual checkup, there naturally has to be a degree of trust between the two of you. After all, doctors and nurses are in the business of taking care of us and making sure we're safe, right? Well, that's not always the case. Niels Högel was raised in the coastal town of Wilhelmshaven, Lower Saxony, in what was then West Germany. Both his grandmother and his father worked as nurses, the latter formerly being employed at the Sankbulhat Hospital in Wilhelmshaven. His mother worked as a paralegal. He has an older sister. According to Högel, he had a sheltered or protected childhood and was not exposed to violence at home. On completing his vocational training in 1997 at Sankbulhat Hospital, Högel became a nurse and continued working there. From 1999 onwards, Högel was employed at the Oldenburg Clinic, stationed in its cardiac surgery intensive care unit, Ward 211. In August of 2001, doctors and medical orderlies at the hospital held a meeting which Högel attended, discussing an unusual spike in both resuscitations and deaths during the preceding months. 58% of these incidents were found to have occurred while Högel was on duty. After the meeting, Högel called in sick for the duration of 3 weeks, and during that time only 2 patients in Ward 211 had died, significantly fewer than had prior to his sick leave. Years later, after having been apprehended by police, Högel admitted that at the time of the meeting he had thought he had been found out. Under pressure by Ward 211's head physician, Högel was transferred to the anesthesiology ward in 2001. Soon, the anesthesiology ward's head physician became suspicious at how Högel was frequently present in emergency situations. In September of 2002, the Oldenburg Clinic's head physician confronted Högel after multiple patients under his care had been found in life-threatening conditions for seemingly inexplicable reasons. It was suggested that he either resign his position at the clinic and continue to receive full wages for another 3 months, or transfer to the clinic's logistics unit where he would assist moving patients throughout the hospital. On 10 October 2002, Högel received a reference letter issued by the Oldenburg Clinic's director of nursing. Therein, she testified to Högel's circumspect, diligent, and autonomous work ethic, as well as to him having acted prudently and in an objectively correct manner in critical situations. She also praised his devotedness and cooperative conduct. The letter concluded with an overall assessment of Högel having completed assigned tasks to the utmost satisfaction. In December of 2002, Högel transferred to the Delmenhorst Clinic, where emergencies and fatalities, mostly due to arrhythmia or sudden decreases in blood pressure, began spiking while Högel was on duty. This led to some of the Högel's co-workers distancing themselves from him. In later court proceedings, it was reported that Högel had initially been held in high regard in Delmenhorst until suspicions against him began to arise. His superiors allegedly did not act on these suspicions, even when 4 empty vials of glorithmil, also known as ajmalin, surfaced in Högel's ward, in spite of no doctor having prescribed any such medication at the time. On 22nd of June 2005, colleagues caught Högel intentionally manipulating a patient's syringe pump to improperly administer adrenaline. The incident prompted Delmenhorst police to open an investigation into Högel. Multiple co-workers of Högel's at Delmenhorst came forward to voice their suspicions that he was behind numerous complications, resuscitations, and unexplained deaths at their hospital. The extensive police investigation that followed these allegations examined all deaths at the hospital between 2003 and 2005, revealing that the number of deaths at the Delmenhorst clinic had doubled during Högel's employment there. In 2005, 73% of deaths could be connected to Högel's work schedule. These findings were subsequently forwarded to the Oldenburg District Attorney's Office, and in December of 2006, adjudicating the 22 June 2005 incident, the Landgericht Oldenburg German Regional Court sentenced Högel to 5 years in prison and an employment ban of equal length for attempted voluntary manslaughter. A joint plaintiff appealed the verdict, and a higher court subsequently reversed it. In 2008 of June, Högel was then given a 7.5-year prison sentence as well as a lifelong employment ban. From January 2014 onward, the Oldenburg District Attorney's Office initiated another investigation into the incidents at the Delmenhorst Clinic. In September of 2014, Högel was charged with 3 counts of murder and 2 counts of attempted murder. After confessing to the charges, Högel stated that he had committed 30 additional murders. The patient's death was caused by Högel's administering 90 unauthorized injections. 60 patients were successfully resuscitated. On 28 February of 2015, the Landgericht Oldenburg sentenced Högel to life in prison. The sentence became final in March of 2015. Prosecutors claim Högel acted out of boredom and the desire to show off his resuscitation skills. You might think that this is the end of Högel's murder cases, but sadly no. Amidst mounting suspicion that Högel might be responsible for further deaths, police launched a major investigation in October of 2014, after which 200 suspicious deaths were identified. From November of 2014 onward, the Special Commission Cardio examined further deaths during Högel's tenure as nurse at various places of employment. A total of 134 bodies in Germany, Poland, and Turkey were exhumed and autopsied. During the 3-year investigation, more than 200 cases were reevaluated. The 134 exhumed bodies were distributed across 67 different cemeteries. In many cases, decomposition had progressed too far to be able to detect any traces of medication. 101 patients from Delmenhorst who died during Högel's tenure couldn't be autopsied, as their remains had been cremated. In 2015, suspected victims were exhumed in Germanycases and Delmenhorst. The bodies' autopsies revealed traces of heart medication. In November of 2016, authorities said that they were able to prove 37 homicides attributed to Högel in Delmenhorst between December of 2002 and June 2005. According to an August 2017 statement by the director of the Special Commission Cardio, the probable Oldenburg and Delmenhorst homicides were only the tip of the iceberg, as Högel had been sentenced to life in prison without eligibility of parole at that time. Further court cases would not alter Högel's sentence, but either find him innocent or guilty of further charges. On 28 August 2017, police announced that they had concluded that Högel was responsible for the deaths of at least 90 patients, including 6 for which he had already been convicted. Högel admitted to an undisclosed number of deaths, but in most cases was unable to remember specific details, although he did not deny possibly being responsible. In November 2017, the total number of victims attributed to Högel was revised and increased to 106, with some suspicious deaths still under investigation. And in January of 2018, German prosecutors charged Högel with the murder of 97 patients and announced their intention to file charges against other hospital staff who failed to act. Prosecutors again claimed that Högel wanted to impress colleagues by reviving the patients he had previously attacked. Police said that Högel had used 5 different drugs, including ajmaline, sotalol, lidocaine, amiodarone, and calcium chloride. Overdoses can lead to life-threatening cardiac arrhythmia and a drop in blood pressure, causing rapid physiological deterioration in patients already ill. In January 2018, the Oldenburg State's Attorney's Office pressed charges against Högel, accusing him of having murdered 100 patients between 7 February 2000 and 24 June 2005. The deceased were aged between 34 and 96 years. However, out of the 100 murder charges, Högel confessed to 43 on the first day of trial, stated he could not recall the other 52, and denied his involvement in the 5 remaining deaths. Out of the 32 witnesses present at the trial, 8 testified under oath. 3 testimonies were heard in camera, and 4 medical experts presented the court with detailed information on the courses of the patient's diseases, as well as the effects of the medication administered by Högel. And at the end, on June 6, 2019, the court in Oldenburg sentenced Högel to life imprisonment. Taking prior convictions into account, the court determined Högel's severe gravity of guilt, a German legal term which significantly increases the respective sentence's severity and precludes a chance of early release after serving 15 years. He was found guilty on 85 separate murder charges and not guilty on 15 further murder charges. The court described Högel's motive to emerge as a hero after a potential reanimation as base, which is a precondition for a murder conviction in Germany. Högel and a joint plaintiff appealed the verdict. It became final on 11 September 2020, when the Federal Court of Justice dismissed both appeals. But that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you all for watching, and do let me know about your thoughts about this case. And please subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. Also turn on the notification bell below so you can get notified whenever I post my next video.